All right, here's where it gets interesting. Brandin Cooks.
Ooh, okay. No Juju. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
How much we have to give up for him. He does have double digits on his contract next year we'd have to worry about. That's cap hit, dead cap. But after that, it's nothing. So I don't know if we could restructure some in the offseason.
And speaking of that, bro, now I know this is the other part, right? We all assumed that when Juju went down, James Washington.
This is why I brought the receivers up.
But holy cow.
I got another receiver on here, too.
He doesn't even get any snaps for it. And then I'm thinking, okay, he has to be hurt, right? Everybody's saying he's hurt. Coach Thomas says what? No, he's fine. He just didn't fit he didn't fit the matchup. Like, what are we talking? Please explain to me how Ray McCloud could fit this matchup as a receiver, playing that many snaps over James Washington. I don't get it.
And then Ben said,
I didn't get it.
Ben said something about it where he was just like, yeah, I think we're going to be using Ray McCloud a lot going forward. I don't know. He just said it like that. I don't know if he's pointing on Canada or something with that.
And like,
I have
to
no
me,
clue.
I look at Ray and I'm like, well, Ray is a poor man's version of Deontay to me. Deontay can do the same things that Ray does in terms of catching the ball at the line of scrimmage, making guys miss, but Deontay gives you the deep receiver ability, right? He's able to stretch the field a little bit more. Whereas with Ray, that's not necessarily the case, or it hasn't been throughout his career. But with James Washington, I'm like, who can do what James Washington does outside of Claypool right now? We don't have that. Who's more of a threat? If I'm a defensive coordinator, who am I losing sleep over? It's not Ray McCloud, and it's not a
Physical
shot at
receiver,
Ray.
good hands.
Physical, can run, can catch.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that guy.
Yeah.
So to me, that's where I'm just like, I don't understand what the disconnect is with James Washington. If he's not hurt, why isn't he on the field? Because I know what I saw in training camp. It wasn't a lack of ability. I can assure you of that. It just doesn't. It's not adding up right now, man. Maybe he's still on the traded block. As far as I know, I don't know.
That's what I mean. We could bring him up in this. I would just rather us play him as opposed to trade him for someone.
Yeah, because I'm like, you can't tell me he's injured, but then tell me he's not injured. But then he's not playing, but then you're playing Ray McCloud these many snaps. It's just, like I said, something isn't adding up here, man.
What would it have to be for Cooks? Second rounder, maybe?
Cooks is older now. Well, he's what? He's
probably
30,
almost 30.
He's almost 30, right?
Probably almost.
But he's been a 1,000-yard receiver multiple times with multiple quarterbacks.
Like 5 or 6 teams, and he's about to do it again this year.
Absolutely he is.
He could play all over the field, too.
I like his game a lot, man. I do. He would be a huge asset. He definitely would.
Second or third round pick?
My only issue is if I'm giving up a second or third round pick for a wide receiver, is that a little bit more of a luxury versus if I'm giving that up for a lineman, which would be more of a necessity?
But dude, I'm telling you, I can't find anyone outside of Cam Robinson. And like Decker was brought up for the Lions, but I think he's going to be out the rest of the year. That's all the reports are saying. He might be put on IR because of his finger. That would be perfect because they're putting Sewell over at left
that's
tackle.
My thing. I'm like, I don't mind giving up a pick like that, but I just feel like a receiver is more of a luxury piece right now. A receiver doesn't answer our concerns going forward when we face teams that can really hurt us up front. We saw, watching Baltimore and Cincinnati, the biggest thing in that game that I saw was defensively, Cincinnati was killing Baltimore up front. They couldn't protect them. And I personally think that Baltimore's O-line is slightly worse than our O-line. So
we moved up.
No, we did. We definitely moved up. It's your boy Al, man. Hey, I'm sorry. It's your boy, man. He's struggling. And they had another injury on the O-line yesterday, too, in the game.
I was concerned about that for a little bit because I hadn't really heard anything about the Ravens and their offensive line and Al getting smoked because that was more the first Monday night game. Wait, is Al actually playing good now?
It was still happening. Lamar was just finding ways to work around it. Lamar would scramble. Lamar could do some special things. Cincinnati up front, though, they were 4-man rushing, and between Larry Ogunjobi, Hendrickson, and Hubbard, they were just getting home. They couldn't block those guys. And then they tried to chip and have other guys stay in, but it just wasn't effective enough. We're not to that point. We were there a couple of weeks ago. We're not there right now. Now, it could be the matchups. We're not there right now, though. So for me, I'm just saying to myself, I'm like, we got to improve that, because if we improve that part, we got talent at receiver, even with Juju being out the lineup. Chase Claypool, you see, he is turning into a grown-up right now, right? Yeah. He's maturing. We waited for it. It's happening. Deontay.
He let me down a little in the Seattle game. I'm not going to lie. But the Broncos game was pretty good.
I know.
Seriously.
But I just love his toughness. That's the part where I was questioning him for a while.
Yeah, he doesn't get phased out of the game.
Right. That was the part where I was like, yo, where are you at mentally? Like, if you don't get a catch, are you still going to be a dog? If you don't get a big play, you still going to be engaged? And he's showing that he is. And that, for me, I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm confident in that. But when I look at these receivers, I'm like, man, with the guys that we still have in Claypool, Deontay, and Washington, Pat definitely, and
It seems like we're using some more of these heavy formations.
Shout out to y'all boy Ebron. He hasn't dropped one just yet.
He's been on a streak. He's been on a streak. It's been great.
Maybe that's why
the comments. Did you see some of the Twitter comments from the sweep on the touchdown?
Teddy Bird.
You knew it was happening. You can't drop the handoff.
You can't jump to be handed off to him, man. Hey, that's why I'm gonna keep the beard for Ebron. Next time
that might be it.
If Ebron drop it, then I'll cut it. But as long as he don't drop it, we good.
Okay, that's a fair one.
We're good, man.
I think that's a fair one. You could tell the Steelers reps and whatnot.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
this is an Ebron drop beard.
Hey, he hasn't dropped one. We're gonna keep the beard alive, man. So with that being said, man, today's episode is brought to you by the good people over at DraftKings. You know, the leader in, sports book and stuff like that, because they are absolutely phenomenal and they're safe, secure, and more importantly, Deke, they are reliable.
Absolutely.
And we know we got first time people out there because this is my first time back, right? I was gone. This is my first time back. We all were first at one point in our life. But for those first time users out there, if you use the promo code MOATS, MOATS, you'll receive up to $1,000 in draft deposit bonus money, which is awesome because it's essentially free money, Deke. We always talk about big Deke investments and things like that. We always talk about, hey, man, I like these odds. I don't like those odds. Well, what if I tell you, Deke, hey, you gonna put 500 in? You use the promo code MOATS? Well, I'm gonna give you another free 500 to put in as well. That's the concept. It is that simple, ladies and gentlemen. It is that simple. So shout out to DraftKings, but we also know you got to be responsible, right? And that's why we got these disclaimers. But I'm not a big reading guy, so I'm gonna just post it up here and let y'all read it. But what they say in church is, if you know somebody that needs some help, you better call 1-800-GAMBLER. Wow, yeah. If you got a gambling problem, whoa, better call that number 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah, yeah, yeah.